Hey there, Jessie here with Winter Moon Gifts. If you don't know me, I usually post videos about life as a small business owner. But I did notice on this part one unboxing of my Eastwood powder coating and my Prismatic powders that a lot of the views came from browsing, searching powder coating. So I thought I would do just a specific video on nothing but powder coating. So let's get into it. I have been powder coating now for a whole week. And I am documenting this journey as much as possible because I had a lot of questions while I was doing my research that I knew I couldn't figure out until I actually had the product in hand. And in this week, I've learned a few things. One, I'm an idiot as far as the mill thickness goes. That's in the part 2 video where I was trying to figure that out. But first things first, what I got was, and I have to mention, this is not sponsored in any way. If Eastwood or Prismatic Powders would like me to do that, I'd be happy to. Anyway, this is the Eastwood PCS-250 dual voltage powder coating system. I messed up when I purchased this because I wanted to get the kit. I only got the gun, but I will link the whole kit below. First recommendation, the biggest one that I will give, if you can find a low pressure air gauge to put on your gun, I would do that because this is so sensitive. It took some adjusting to get the pressure right because you only need 3 to, I think, 7 PSI to have this work accurately, especially when you're using it on the low setting. It's another thing that I've learned is the low setting is for smaller pieces. The high setting is for the bigger pieces where you need a bigger coverage. Okay, let's just get into the mill thickness because I just instantly, when you don't know something, you don't know something. And we live in this world where everything is acronyms or letters or whatever. So I kind of just assumed when they were talking about mill thickness, I thought they were talking about millimeters, and I was so wrong. And I kind of figured that out because I'm like, there is no way. So suggested amount of coating, I have a micrometer here, is 2 to 3 mils, right? And I was thinking millimeters. So that is 3 millimeters. That's a lot. And I knew that was too much. There could be no way in hell that that's what it was asking for. Mil is a mil. And it's actually, I wrote this down, 1 mil is 1/1000th of an inch, or 0.0254 millimeters. So that's what they're talking about when they're talking about mill thickness. You can actually, I just added to cart a mill gauge that you can use because mill is important. It's gonna base, it's the quality of your product. If it's too little, it's not gonna be durable. I also wanted to show you guys a better view of the setup. So what we did is, this is just like, I think it's like a 3x2 framed area that my husband did. And then we took the plastic and then a painter's zipper. I've talked about in other videos where it doesn't unzip all the way. That is a bit of a nuisance, but it's not awful because you can see that with the setup, it works keeping the powder in there because there are way too many expensive machines in this shop to have this powder just getting everywhere. That's not good. But look, that's that's powder. It does stop. So it's just framed. And then we got that exhaust fan from Harbor Freight. And then the light, and it's just wired into the switch. And it works really well. It works really, really well. Let's see. In another video, I was struggling with the ground. I stopped putting it on the metal itself. I will have to kind of clean these wires off. I've been having a little bit of an issue with grounding now because obviously powder is going to get on there, but it just works so much better just to keep it clipped to this wire instead of the actual metal piece. It's working well enough. I also, once I'm done painting, spray painting my metal, and I'm doing nothing but powder coating, I want to get a white piece of melamine and make a floor and some sides so I can clean up non-contaminated powders and save that. Like I said, this was from my first trial where I had way too much air and it made a mess. Something else that I did with my gun is with what I am coating, I took the deflector completely off. It is not necessary for my application whatsoever. It's perfect not having it. I am not going to be powder coating anything right now, anything larger than 12 by 12. So no deflector is perfect for that. And the reason why I am not powder coating anything bigger is because I can't fit much bigger into my oven. I just searched on Facebook Marketplace for a cheap household stovetop oven. Obviously, I'm not cooking in it. You definitely don't want to cook food in something that you've powder coated in. But yeah, it's a cheap, it works right now, but I'm very limited on the space that I can powder coat in. Things that are on my wish list now that I've been powder coating a whole whopping week. I knew before I had even started this, and when I was waiting impatiently for my powder coating gun and all that to get here, I do want to get a sandblaster. There are a couple at Harbor Freight. Reviews are okay. I'm not really decided on the size yet. I think I can go with a smaller one, but that's about 200 bucks. Right now I am grinding off the dross off of the metal and then cleaning the bejesus out of it with acetone. It works. It's time consuming, and a sandblaster would just make more sense. It would work much better. The other thing that I am going to be trying to find is some different kind of containers, canisters, whatever, to put my powder in. This is how it comes. I don't like it. It's really kind of cumbersome to try to pour and messy. I need, even with using a funnel, it's just not gonna work. So once I start getting more of a stock, I just bought 3 powders to learn this process on. I got a black, a clear coat, and then this peacock sapphire that I still haven't changed. Tonight I am gonna cut a couple of pieces on the CNC machine, get them cleaned up, and I am gonna do a color change. That is gonna be in my usual video next week. I will link it up here once it is published, I guess. If it's not linked right now, I haven't published it yet. So if you're gonna wanna see me do a complete clean out and a color change and use this, it's this one over here. This is the Peacock Sapphire. So Peacock Sapphire. You see that it's white, but once it cures, it's gonna be like a blue-green color shift. I can't wait to see that, and I hope you can't wait to see that too. And you just go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, and you can see that process. I am excited about that. While I've got some sunshine, I will show you a couple of things that I have powder coated. Let's see, this one, I don't know where. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. This one, we were taking a piece of metal and just scratching it to see the difference between paint. When these deeper scratches happened, it hadn't fully cured. So now you can see, you can kind of see where it will lightly scratch. I guarantee you there's probably not enough mill thickness on here too. So, work in progress. I showed you this one that I purposefully put too much. You can see that orange peel on there. This was on a high voltage setting, and then low voltage setting. It's not quite as bad, but it's still not good. This was a trial run for a business card holder for a vendor friend. This one actually turned out, I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. I do have a feeling though, probably not enough mill thickness. I'm not too sure. I need to get that mill gauge. That will help a ton in helping me learn how to get enough powder on there. Other than that, let me know in the comments below if you are just thinking about powder coating, if you're new to powder coating like me, or if you've been doing it a long time and you just wanted to watch this video to laugh at a newbie.